Hariom everyone, welcome to this class on Purusha Sukta. We will start with the chanting first. You can chant at your end. Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunattu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishamvahai Om Shanti 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 Om Ganana Tva Ganpatikam Bhavamahi Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvannutivik Siddhisadhinam Om Shri Mahaganpate Namaha Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhe Bhavatu Me Sadam Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Reva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Welcome to this class on Sutta. We have completed 30 classes so far. So this is the 31st class. So we'll chant the last two parts of this. Start with the seventh to ninth. Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Adityavarnam Tamasastu Pare Sarvani Rupani Vichityatiraha Namani Kritva Pivadan Yadaste Dhata Purastadyam Udajaharu Shakra Pravitvan Pradishaschatasraha Tamev Vidvan Amrita Iha Bhavati Nanyav Pantha Ayanaya Vidyate Yagyena Yagyam Ayajanta Devaha Tani Dharmani Prathamanyasan Devanakam Mahimanas Sachante Yatra Purve Sathya Santi Devaha Adbhya Samputah Prithivvedasach Vishwakarmana Samavartatadi Tasutashta Vidudhatrupameti Tatpurushasya Vishwam Ajanamagre Vedahamitam Purusham Mahantam Adityavarnam Tamasaf Parastat Tamevam Vidvan Amrita Iha Bhavati Nanyam Pantha Vidyate Yanaya Prajapatiscarati Garbe Antaha Ajayamano Bahudha Vijayate Tasya Dhira Parijananti Yonim Marichinam Padanichanti Vedasaha Yo Devebhyo Atpati Yo Devanam Purohitaha Purvo Yo Devebhyo Jataha Namo Ruchaya Brahmaye Rucham Brahmam Janayantaha Deva Agri Tadabhuvan Yasvaiva Brahmano Vidyatu Tasya Deva Asanvashe Ishyate Lakshmischa Patnyo Ahoratre Pashve Nakshatrani Rupam Ashvino Vyaktam Ishtam Manishanam Amum Manishanam Sarvam Manishanam Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we have been looking at the Purusha Sukta. We saw the whole Sukta in the beginning and then we left out the last verse so that we could understand in more detail the initial parts. So we have been looking at the different portions into which this Purusha Sukta is divided. And so the first part was the Purusha as the eternal consciousness, as the pure undivided Purusha, that and then that Purusha in the manifest as Virat, as this universe, as the body of the universe. That was Virat. And then we saw next the same Purusha as Yajna Purusha, the one who resides in the hearts of all beings as the Antaryami, the one who is the receiver of all offerings, Yajna Purusha. And whatever we offer to him, he nourishes us, he gives us back manifold, and that is Yajna Purusha. And then finally, Samaj Purusha. We as conscious beings, when we form a society, and we saw earlier also that this Samaj is called a Samaj if it is having a common goal and a common purpose, and it moves together with that. It's not a crowd. Bhid Samaj nahi hai. That is what we saw clearly, right? And so in the last class, we were looking at how this Samaj is given different duties, which is created by God himself. उन्होंने ही ये सारे चारों वर्ण रचे हैं. So Bhagwan in Gita also says, Chatur Varnam Maya Srishta. So nothing can change that. Those properties, those gunas will be there in every person. This is not something that will change with the times. What can change is how we uh, stick to that vyavastha, how we maintain the lineage and the purity of that vyavastha and use it to decide the what we call varna and karma bhumi of a person, whatever action, whatever field of activity that person will go to. So earlier, people had very fixed lines and they would maintain those, and accordingly, children would be assigned duties. It was not easy to move, but yes, exceptions were always made. Exceptions are there in the Vedas also, right? So Satyakam, we saw Satyakam, son of Jabali. He was given a Brahmanatva status, even though he was born from a different caste. So in this way, there have been so many stories. So what we saw was once now we have mixed that up. The same thing that was expressed by Arjuna also in the Bhagavad Gita in the first chapter, where he said to Krishna that if this war happens, a lot of people will die and there will be no sanctity of the lineage. So one Sankar will happen. The caste will get mixed up. So the purity of caste will no longer be maintained because there will be fewer men and more women because most men die in the war. So that thing was also expressed there. So our Samaj Vyavastha is such that we have to ensure that everyone is given that same, whatever job or whatever station in life they are supposed to look for. And until and unless the system is nourished, when everyone is assigned to their proper duties, the duties will not be done in the right manner, right? So if so the Vaishya, who is the Vaishya is the Uru. He is the stomach. So if the stomach is not functioning, then the whole body will not be functioning. So if Vaishya is not generating wealth and using it to nourish all, providing the Shudras who work for him, giving him them justified money, so contributing to the welfare of the country by for giving to the Kshatriya and also giving to the Brahmins as Dhanam. All those was defined in the Shastra. सब कुछ बता दिया गया था. यज्ञ में how you have to do yajna, what you have to give Brahman, how many yajnas you have to do. All that was decided, and so everyone stayed satisfied. But if the stomach gets upset, the Vaishya decides, I will keep the wealth only to myself. Then the Sudra will also say, I will only work for money. And then the Kshatriya will also say that I will not work for the country. I will work wherever I get more money. The Brahman will also say, I will not perform the yajna or the homa unless I'm given the due remuneration because otherwise you are not supporting me. So why should I indulge only in the assimilation of knowledge? Right. So in this way, I've just pointed out one point by one. If one is disturbed, same way all the others. If any one of them stop doing their duties, the rest of it will be disturbed. So we have always this Advait vision of Samaj also. The Advait vision that this is one body and the parts are not separate. They are not different that they can be cut off when they have a problem. So that was the Samaj Vyavastha, right? So then we have understood now in all cases, right from Virat to the Param Purusha and the Samaj Purusha, Yajna Purusha, all of them, they are pointing towards the oneness, Advait. And when that oneness is discovered in the heart, and it is known that from this oneness, the whole multitude also has arisen. सब कुछ यहीं से निकल गया. And so you cannot remove the world. The world is in fact a beautiful representation of the infinite potential of that Yajna Purusha, of that Purusha. So in this way, You cannot remove the world, and you cannot hate the world, and you cannot like destroy the world. You have to maintain both visions. You have to go and do vyavhara in the world, and you also have to see the oneness in everything, right? So in our tradition, everything is used in the sense of oneness. So same cloth can be used as a dhoti. It can be used as upper portion. It can be used for a safa also. So we have that oneness. But can you use a pant in place of a shirt? We cannot. So that vision has always been the vision of our rishis, right? They have given this vision where we are always given this system where we can work for the oneness of society, right? And therefore, we saw all the other parts also: Chandrama Manaso Jata, Chaksho Surya Achayata, Mukhad Indrascha Agnischa, Pranad Vayu Rajayata. So, in all of these, we saw that all the powers of the individuals, they are also in one individual. सब उसी के ही हैं. And they run in synchronization. So Chandrama Manaso Jata, the moon is born from the mind. So just like the individual mind, there is the total mind, and the cosmic mind, we can say. The moon represents the cosmic mind. And the various phases of the moon represent the different thoughts. And we also have different thoughts. And one moment we are angry, one moment we are sad, one moment we are happy. So all these are the phases of the moon. So same way we also have phases. All these phases are born from that Purusha. So Devta of the mind is the moon. So it is also said the pull of the mind, the moon affects the mind when it is the nearest. So some people in full moon night, they get affected. The people who are crazy, they go more crazy. So all this is, yeah, all this is there. So moon is reflecting the light and mind reflects the consciousness. So moon represents the reflected consciousness. So moon is the reflector of the consciousness. And then Chaksho Surya Jayata, Surya represents the total consciousness, the undivided consciousness, which will provide the light to everyone. All the eyes are born out of the sun. So eyes are here, we call them the seeing power, and Surya is the Devta, right? So I'll just share that also on the screen so we can keep on looking. Then Mukhad Indrascha Agnischa Pranat Vayu Rajayata. So all these are again in the same way the parts of the body. So the like the mouth is the one that gives birth to Indra, the king of the Devas, or Vivek. Vivek is born out of our power to discriminate the real and the unreal. Therefore, Mukhat Indra, Mukhat Indrascha Agnischa. So here clearly the Vivek is presented as Indradev, right? And thus what is visualized by the power of discrimination is expressed through the speech. It's whatever you visualize, the speech is the medium for expressing that. So therefore, Indra is shown here. Huh? And then, therefore, Agni is the devta of the mouth, the speech. So through that, it is expressed, all the knowledge. That is why, we use the term fiery speech. He gave a very fiery speech and so on. So in this way, all the devtas represent the different powers that are in the same individual. And then prana vayu rajayata. So the life force that is within us, that is born out of vayu devta. So vayu is the total life force, because wherever vayu will not be there, no living being can exist, right? So therefore, life force is sustained by air. It increases and decreases with the air. So they both complement each other. And then the navel, the nabhya. So all these parts of the body, one-to-one coordination, nabhya, asit, antariksham. So from the navel is born the space or antariksham, right? So therefore, we have two concepts. One is the space, that is the intervening space between what we see here and the sky, we say, is the higher part of that space, where all the other planets exist. So that is what we call Dyav and Antariksh. So Antariksh represents the space, Dyav, or that is the Chulo, the low cause of light. That represents all the light-giving stars, suns, and all the suns and stars, right? So they represent at the total level this antariksham, because we also believe that they are not separate. They are one continuous entity, Antariksham Dhyo. So therefore, the Nabi is navel is the center point where all the nerves converge. So all the signals, it is said, even though brain is connected there, but this is the point where they are connected. So Antariksham is the subtle center of the prana, right? So this we saw earlier also. I'm just repeating. So Shishno Dyo Samavartata. From the head of the Purusha is born the heavens, right? The Dyo, the higher self. So head represents the intellect. Head represents the intellect, which illuminates all our thoughts and orders them, it keeps them in order, so that our purpose in life will be fulfilled. जो भी हमने बुद्धि से विचार किया उससे हमारा कार्य सही तरीके से होता है. Whatever we visualize from our intellect, that helps us do all our activities in the best manner possible. Right? So therefore, heaven represents the fulfillment of our fondest desires through guided and benevolent acts. Samavartata. Sab में समभाव से वर्तना. We have to be equanimous towards all being. Right? So that is the duty of this Dyo, the Swarglok. Swarglok. So we have the 7 lokas. No? We say them in doing the pranayama. Om Bhu, Om Bhuva, Om Swaha, Om Maha, Om Jana, Om Tapa, Om Satyam. So the middle part is Mahat. Mahat represents this Buddhi. Just below that is the Swaha or Dyo. So that represents the individual intellect. And Mahat represents the total intellect that is in the middle. And above that, Satchitanand Rup. So that. So Shishno Dyo Samavartata. So the whole individual being also exists in the same way in the form of the Purusha at the total level. Right? We saw in earlier Vedanta class also that we have this, the Karan Sharir of the individual corresponds to the Ishwar. So it represents the causal body of the total universe. Then the Sukshma Sharir of the individual corresponds to Hiranyagar. Right? So the total creating power, Brahmaji we call that. And then the final Stool Sharir represents Virat. What we have seen here is Virat Purusha. So therefore, all of these are, we are all individual manifestations of that total power. And then Madhyam Bhumi Disha Shrotra. So from the feet, you have the Prithvi Tattva. We have the Prithvi Tattva. So the feet become the Prithvi Tattva and the earth and the planets. And so because the feet rest on the earth, we need the earth to rest. So and move on the earth. Therefore, the feet represents the Bhumi, Prithvi Tattva. Right? And then Disha is Shrotra. So the directions come from the ears. The ears direct the direction of the sound. They can tell from where the sound is coming. Hence, if you remember from Tattva Bodh, the Dig Devta is the Devta of the ears. Dig Devta is the Devta of the ears. There it's Disha ke jo Devta hai, to wahi hai. So Tatha Lokagam Akalpayan. All the 7 words were visualized by this Purusha and created out of it. It was created by this Purusha only. Right? So Tatha Lokagam Akalpayan. Then the next one, Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam. So thus may I know Ved Aham Etam. Thus may I know whom? Purusham Mahantam. This Purusha who is the greatest. So now we have to begin this journey inwards to realize this highest nature of mine, and so that I can become one with it and never be separated from it, so that I will be freed from the cycle of births and deaths. Right? So what is the step-by-step process? How do we understand this Devta? Aditya Varnam Tamasastu Pare. He is the nature of light. Light meaning consciousness, right? Consciousness illuminates everything. Without consciousness, nothing can be known. So therefore, he is the color of light. Aditya Varnam. Aditya ke ranga. So he is of the color of light. That means that consciousness or my Swarupa is of the nature of light. That is, it illumines everything. And therefore, beyond the touch of any darkness. Tamasastu Pare. The Tamaha represents darkness, right? Darkness. So beyond any touch of darkness, that is no ignorance. There can be no ignorance in that consciousness. Why? Because it is ever the Gyan Swarupa, ever the nature of knowledge. And therefore, Sarvani Rupani Vichitya Dhiraha. So thus the intelligent, the Dhiraha, who they know the Purusha as the holder of all forms. Sarvani Rupani Vichitya Dhira, which Vichitya represents the one who has done Viveka. Right? Which Dhatu we saw. No? So which Dhatu represents the one who has the one who has the vision or the knowledge of the oneness, right? The one who knows about what is real and what is unreal. So Vichitya, that Dhiraha, that intelligent person, he knows all the forms have emerged out of that Purusha only. Sarvani, Rupani, Vichitya Dhiraha. And then Namani, Kritva, Abhivadan, Yadaha, Te. So all the names and forms, जितने भी नाम है, वो सब उन्होंने ही बनाए हैं. Namani Kritva. So then this Purusha, from him all of the forms have come, and then each of the form is assigned a name. हर एक आकार का एक नाम है. All of them are given a name. Namani Kritva, Abhivadan, Yadaha, Te. So it exists here only. Yadaha, Te. It is only here. That is, it is not that like in some philosophies, they say Ishvara, their Lord created the world and he is residing somewhere in the heavens and the world is separate. No, we have the Lord is residing in this universe, in every speck of this universe. So therefore, the one who has created these names and forms, he himself enters those names and forms in the form of consciousness. So चेतन रूप से स्वयं भी उसका उसी में प्रवेश है. And धाता पुरस्ताद्य Udajahara. So it is the holder, Thata. It is the holder, the one Dharan Karta. And then Puraha, the Adyam Ujara. From the beginning, from the beginning, Puraha, from the beginning itself he is there. It's not that he came later, the material was lying around, then he came and assembled the material and then created the thing. No, he is the one who created the material. Right? So therefore, Thata, Purastadyam, Udajahara, till their manifestation, Udajahara. Right. He was there before they were manifest, and he was there till they manifested. And now they are manifest, so he's still here. So he's here. So Shakraf, Pravidvan, Pradishas, Chatasraha. So Shakra is again Indra. So how do I know this? Through Shakra, who is of the nature of Vidvan, Vivek. We saw earlier also Pravidvan, Shakraf, Pravidvan. So Indra is the Vivek that lets us know the nature of this Purusha. Or not, we should not say this Purusha or myself. It's my nature, not something separate. Pravidvan, Pradishas Chatasra, all the directions. Pradisha, Pradisha means all the directions. Chatasra, in all the four directions. He knows everything in the four directions. How do we know everything in the four directions? Do we know every planet, every part of the universe that exists? No. But we know that all of them have come out of that Purusha. So that is the secret, right? Pravidvan, Pradishas, Chatasra. So therefore, Ishvara is known by his lingam, by the indicator. Linga represents something that indicates or points to him. So all existence is coming out of this Purusha only, because this world is in the form of existence. ये सत रूप से है, तो इसका कारण भी सत्य होगा. Its cause must also be real. So its cause must also be existent. So therefore, the existence is the lingam, the linga for the Purusha. So linam vastu gamyate iti lingam is the definition of linga. So that object which is disappeared from vision, not seen, to that it can point out. That is the lingam. So जो हमें दिख नहीं रहा है उसको निर्देशित कर सकते. What we are not seeing, that can be pointed to by this lingam. So every object is a lingam for God. Every object is a pointer towards God. And then tameva vidvan amrita iha bhavati. So he who knows this Purusha, tameva amrita iha bhavati, he becomes immortal here itself, in this janma itself. In this world, he attains moksha, he attains eternality, or you can say he attains release, or he attains knowledge of his immortal nature. So this person who has seen Ishvara as the lingam in every speck of creation, he will attain immortality. He will attain immortality. And Nanya pantha ayanaya vidyate. There is no other path to this liberation. You cannot say that there are so many paths, all lead to liberation. No. The liberation has to come from knowledge. Even if it is any other way, we saw in Kathopanishad yesterday that there is Krama Mukti. In Krama Mukti, through Upasana, he attains Mukti. But ultimately, he will have to grow to Brahmaji, who will give him the knowledge, and then he will be liberated. So, Nanya Pantha Ayanaya Vidyate. There is no other path to liberation. Ayanaya. Ayanaya means the liberation from worldly paths. How? Because Ayan means what? Ayan means the house. So, one who knows himself as the holder or the house for everything. सब कुछ मेरे ही अंदर है. So, Nanya Pantha Ayanaya Vidyate. There is no other path that is seen by men. No man who is knowledgeable will accept that there is something other than this Purusha from whom everything has come about. So, Nanya Pantha Ayanaya Vidyate. And then, Yagyena Yagyam Ayajantaha Deva. So, by this Yagya or by conjunction of these divine powers, we worship this Yagya. So, they use it to manifest all reality. So, what is happening here? For the person of knowledge, he is connected to that higher slot, Yagyena, and then Yagyam Ayajanta Deva, he offers himself to himself. So, first is the Yagya, the process of connection. Second is the Yagyam, is the surrender. Sir, Yagya means here in the second is surrender. And Ayajanta Deva, he is able to manifest all the divine powers. So for the person who is connected to this Hiranyagarbha or Ishvara, he is able to connect to them and he is able to learn the knowledge of all the realities. हर देवता से वो जुड़ जाता है. He is able to bring those devtas to his life to give him blessings, to give him anugraha, and therefore he is at one with God. Any knowledge he needs, he just needs to go inwards and it will appear. He just needs to think and he just needs to ask the Lord with a feeling of surrender, yagyam, it will manifest. And then Tani Dharmani Prathamanyasan. So he knows the nature of everything. Tani Dharmani. He knows the dharma. Nature, dharma is what? What holds something together, right? The nature of something, the true nature of something. Prathamanyasan. So all of these, all the nature that exists in every object is from that Pratham Purusha. It has come from Prathamanya, sun has appeared. Sun means to become, to come. So therefore, all the realities have come from there. And that Teha Nakam Mahimanas Sachante. Teha Nakam Mahimanas Sachante. So this Nakam represents the heavens, the highest heavens, where all the highest beings resides. So therefore, this person, he reaches that highest heaven, and then Mahimana Sachanti, he goes even beyond that, to the place where there is no manifestation. He goes beyond that to the highest reality. Mahimana Sachante. Yatra Purve Sadhya Santi Devaha. So we saw Sadhya, we saw the Sadhya Rishi also. So these are the very places where the Sadhya or the experts in sadhana, they reside. And the powers for creating this and the Rishis and their Devatas, from beginning, the wise men will attain these. So Yatra Purve Sadhya Santi Deva. So when this wise person reaches the realms that the Rishis reside in, he himself becomes a Rishi. He himself becomes a Sadhya Rishi. And then Adhya Sambhutav Prithivya Rasacha. So the pure existence, Adhya represents water. Water means the pure existence. We saw the derivation of that. Adhya becomes the source. Sambhuta, it becomes that pure existence becomes the source from which everything is arising. Sambhutaha. Sambhutaha means vanna. Bhut means to exist. So it becomes the Sambhuta Prithivya Rasacha. It becomes the rasa. It becomes the essence out of which all the elements are born. Which elements? Prithivya. Starting from Prithvi, all the elements. So all the elements from Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, Akash. All of them in series, they are born out of the essence of that original original existence. So they are born or between. So we saw that the difference between what is the waters and pure existence. There is one existence and the totally the unmanifest part, where Sat Chit Anand are together, no separation. Because when we merge them, then separation is not there. In Brahman, there is no separation. It is only with respect to creation that existence, consciousness, and bliss can be understood. When Brahman creates the world, then only you can tell that all existence is coming from there, all consciousness is coming from there, all ananda is coming from there. But in without the manifestation, the separation is not there. So that is one is the pure existence, and waters represent when the manifestation happens, right? Therefore, it is said that Vishnu resides on the ocean of existence. So in the beginning there were the waters. So that all represents that pure existence is the source from which then everything came on. पहले सिर्फ जल था, फिर सब निकल गया. So existence is the pure, modifying, changeless essence. It becomes waters when it is the source, when it starts to manifest the objects, when it becomes the source of all objects, and it is the substratum of the world, right? And then Vishwakarmana Samavartatadi. Vishwakarmana Samavartatadi. So Vishwakarmana means the creator of all the worlds. Samavartatadi. He creates and sustains. Samavartan. Samavartan means to sustain. So this Purusha, but here remember we are talking about the realized person. So the realized person sees himself as the creator of the universe, as the upholder and the sustainer of the universe, because he sees himself as consciousness. Now, whenever we say, no, I am the holder, we tend to think of this limited being. So that is the error because of which we face a lot of, lot of discrepancy. हमें लगता है मैं कैसे मैं तो ये छोटा सा जीव हूँ I am this small जीव so how can I be manifesting all this, but we have to remember when we are saying I am the manifester of the worlds means the consciousness. I see myself as consciousness, then only I can make this statement, otherwise I can't even make the statement. So Vishwakarmana Samavartatadi and Tasya Tvashta Vidadat Rupameti. So Tvashta means the one who divides. Tvashta ones who if we go into the Vedas someday, there the Tvashta, he separates the consciousness into 4 parts. So that is Tvashta. So he is the fashioner out of which everything is created. He is the one who designs everything from the primal materials. Right? So Tvashta is that. So Tasya Tvashta Vidadhat Rupam Eti. So this is Tvashta fashions all the different names and forms out of that primal existence. वो जो शुरू में एग्जिस्टेंस थी उससे सब कुछ बनाने वाले त्वष्टा है. He wields all the forms out of it. And then tat purushasya vishvam ajanam agre. So that purusha, tat purushasya, of that purusha, vishvam, the whole world, ajanam agre. It is a follower, the one who came first. So therefore, that primal purusha is followed by all. Even this wise person, he surrenders to that total essence and sees that from which everything has come about. Tat Purushasya Vishwam Ajanam Agre. So we saw this sentence earlier, Vedaham Etam Purusham Antam, now repeating. Why? Because earlier he was starting the journey, now he's concluding the journey. Right? Earlier starting the journey, now. So Vedaham Etam Purusham Mahantam. So I know this Purusha, this Mahan Purusha, this we saw the meaning of this also, who is larger than everything, Mahantam, who is greater than everything in the manifest. So someone who knows this Purusha, which nature, Aditya Varnam, Tamasa Parastat. So this we saw of the nature of consciousness and Tamasa Parastat meaning beyond ignorance. So this Aditya Varna Tamasap Parastha. Then Tamevam Vidvan Amrita Yabhavati. So that person attains knowledge here itself. So Nanya Pantha Vidyate Ayanaya. So and there is no other path to liberation. This is repeated. So initially the path has started, now he is into the conclusion. Then Prajapati Charati Garbhe Antaha. So Prajapati is the one who takes care of the beings of the universe, the one who creates the peoples. So that is Prajapati, the power that manifests and nourishes the people. And where does that power reside? Garbhe Antaha, in the womb of that Purusha, right? So within the Purusha, that consciousness itself, there resides this power that manifests the world. We can, in today, or in modern Vedanta, we use the term Maya for it. But earlier it was just that Purusha in that inner essence, and you can call him as Hiranyagarbha. Garbha is the womb. So Hiranyagarbha. He is the womb out of which all beings are born. And therefore, Ajayamano Bahuda Vijayate. The one who is Ajayamana, the one who cannot be born, that Ishvara, that Purusha, he becomes, the unborn becomes born. He manifests by his magical powers, he manifests the many forms out of the self. Right? So some Purusha can never be born. Right? He is ever eternal. So he cannot be born or he cannot die. And yet he becomes or he appears like he is getting born or he is dying or going away by his power. So this the wise men know. Tasya dhira parijananti yonim. So all the intelligent one know it. Know this at the womb. Know this Purusha as the womb from where everything is born. Tasya dhira parijananti yonim. So all the wise men know that Tasya, that Purusha as the yoni, as the womb from which everything is born. Parijananti. Or you can also say through which everything is known. Jananti also represents it represents being born. It also represents knowing. Janna. So it represents from which everything is born. And then Marichi Nam Padamichanti Vedasaha. So Marichi is a ray of light, right? Marichi is a ray of light. So Marichi Nam, the holders of the light, the rishis, the one who have this knowledge. The light represents the knowledge. Marichi Nam Padamichanti Vedasaha. So they desire this status, this knowledge that I am Brahman. So the Marichi Nam, the one who have this knowledge, they desire to have this status of knowing themselves as Brahman. Padavichanti, and through Vedasa, through knowledge, through Vedasa. So all the holders of the light, they hope to attain this status through knowledge. So that is the Marichi Nam. And Yo Devebhyaha Atapati. So this very existence is illumined for the divine powers. This Purusha is available for the divine powers. Atpati means someone who is the Swami, the owner, in that sense. So don't take it in the wrong sense, but it is in that sense that it is used. So this existence is the Pati. He is the Swami of all the Devas. He is the Swami. From him only they all derive their powers. Yo Devebhyo Atapati. And then again same way, Yo Deva Na Purohitaha. He is also the priest of the Devtas. Or he completes them. Or he is benevolent to the bodies of the Devtas. Purohitaha means what? Pura means body. Pura means body. And Hita means beneficial. Right? So he is also the priest of the Devtas, or you can say he is the one who is beneficial towards the Devtas. And then Purvo Yo Devebhyo Jataha. So all the Devtas were born out of it. All the Devtas were born out of it. Purvo Yo Devebhyo Jataha. And all the Devtas were born out of it. So Namo Ruchaya Brahmaye. So we bow to the Rucha, the Richas of the Rig Veda, the verses of the Rig Veda, Brahmaya, that describe this Brahman. So if we are thankful to the Vedic system, the Vedic verses that have revealed this Purusha to us, that have revealed this nature of Brahman to us, revealed ourselves as the very Brahman itself. And then Rucham Brahmam Janayanta, the riches that describe or know this Brahman. So we are talking about the riches are many, but we are talking particularly about those that describe the oneness, जो बताती हैं उस ब्रह्म का स्वरूप. So those riches, Rucham Brahmam Janayanta, those riches that are describing or uh, knowing this Brahman. And Deva Agre Tadapruvan. The Devas also first described this Brahman. All the Devtas, they were the first knowers of this Brahman. Right? So if we see Chandogya Upanishad, so there it is shown how all of the Devtas were given the education about this Brahman. Out of them, Indra was the first to understand that. So that is another story. So Yastvavam Brahmano Vidyat. So he who knows Yas Yaha Tu Evam Brahmano Vidyat. So one who knows this Purusha in this way, or one who knows Brahman in this way, what happens to this person? Tasya Deva Asan Vashe. All the Devtas come under his control. Vashe. All the Devtas are benevolent towards him, beneficial towards him. So, Hrishchate Lakshmishcha Patnyo. So, Lakshmi and Hri, they are the wives of the Lord. They become favorable to him. So, Hri represents the one from whom the Devi from whom all favorable circumstances are bestowed. Right? All favorable circumstances are bestowed. And Lakshmi represents the wealth of the world. And that also means the Jnana. So Lakshmi is not just that worldly wealth, but the highest wealth is Atma Jnana. So she is the giver of the Atma Jnana. So Hri and Lakshmi are the wives of this Purusha, and they become favorable to this person. And when Ahoratre Parshve, so all the day, all the time, during the day and night, they are all favorable to him. And you can also say in this way that the day and night are Parshva means the rear part. So the day and night follow him. The day and night follow this Purusha. And then Nakshatrani Rupam, the Nakshatras, you have the 27 divisions of the sky, no? So they are all his form, or they reveal themselves to this knower. So I can't go into the Nakshatras right now. It's a very detailed topic. But yes, all the Nakshatras represent the different manifestations of that Purusha in the 27 parts in the sky. They all have different names. So each name has also a very beautiful significance. So they all represent basically the way this Purusha has manifested all the parts of the universe, right? So like we divide the circle into 360 degrees, right? So in our system, we have divided that into 27 parts. And those 27 parts represent the all-round view of this universe, the all-round manifestation of this universe through the Purusha. And then Ashvino Vyaktam. The Ashvinas are his open mouth, or they open their mouth to Brahman. So Ashvin twins are the, if you remember again from Tattva, they are the devas of the nostrils, of the nose. So Ashvin, they are the, so they represent the smelling power, right? And so therefore, through that smelling power, you are able to know the nature of Prithvi Tattva. So that is why they are connected. Gandhas is connected to Prithvi Tattva. So that this whole Prithvi becomes this person, so the wise person. So Ishtam Manishanaha, may we get this benevolence or fulfillment of our desires or liberation. So this is the final prayer of the Sukta, the final prayer where it is told how may we always be blessed by this knowledge, may we follow this knowledge. This knowledge has been given to us. This knowledge has been understood by us. Now I have to apply it to every part of my life. And so may we always get the benevolence or the fulfillment of our desires. The highest desire is liberation, right? So that is the one we are seeking for. But every vyavahara in the world, every action in my world should be guided by this knowledge. Amum Manishana. Whatever is here, Amum, yeah, whatever is here, may we attain. Amum Manishana. May we attain everything. Sarvam Manishana. So may we attain everything that is there to attain in this world. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So therefore, may there be peace all round. So we have seen the full scope of the Purusha Sukta. The final part that we saw today, it reveals to us this very fact that this Purusha is the one from whom everything has emerged. He is inseparable from the universe, and therefore he is one with the universe. And from him, uh, to know him, we don't have to remove the universe. We have to understand each and every part of the universe as emanating from that Purusha and as blessed by that Purusha. Right? So, in this way, we can bring this Purusha into our lives when we enrich our vision of the universe around us so that we see him in every being, every object, and accordingly, our love will keep flowing towards every being an object in the world. We will not see negativity anywhere. Wherever we see negativity, we will see that there has been some bad experience which we can seek to remove or negate. We can try our best. Otherwise, Lord will do but whenever the time for the person comes. We don't have to do everything. So we develop a very wholesome and rich vision. Any wrong that is happening in the world, we will be the first to oppose it. Because we saw, no, hum chetan hai. We are conscious beings. So we have to do it. We will step up to take responsibility for everything. We'll just not let everything keep happening. Jo ho raha hai hone do. That attitude will go away. So that is the richness of this knowledge of this Purusha. Sarvam Manishana, Amum Manishana, all the things around me should be blissful, good, and happy. That is what I will strive for. How? By my own behavior. By my own behavior. No, you do something small. Someone is dropped a piece of paper on the road, and someone else goes to pick it up and drops it into the dustbin. So both get happy. The one who did it, yes, I did something good. And the one who saw him, he also says, no, I did something wrong. I have to learn this. Right? So with our behavior, we have to be an example. We have to be an ideal citizen of the universe so that we become more responsible towards this. So that is the Vedic vision. To live in sync with the whole universe, live in sync with all of nature. And also always keep our vision on ourselves as the highest essence, as the Purusha, so that when this birth is over, we do not run after our desires and take another birth. We don't go from mrityum sa mrityum apnoti. We don't go from one death to the other death. This is the essence of Purusha. So we wind up for today. And if we want, we can make another question answer session maybe next week. And then after that, we'll start with the next text. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Namaha Hari